The world of cryptocurrencies is continuously expanding as new and interesting projects emerge in an attempt to bridge the gap between traditional finance and modern cryptocurrencies. And Chainlink is one such project which is attempting to bring interoperability to the blockchain industry. Hey hustlers, welcome to Financial Education, where you can grab knowledge on finances and giant companies. And today we have Chainlink cryptocurrency price prediction in 2021 and how it will explode to $1,000. Before that, remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on post notifications as well so you can keep track of all our monetary episodes. Before we begin this video, here's a little disclaimer. This video is purely speculation based on widely available data. We are not registered financial advisors. We don't know for sure what the price of any coin will do in the future, and neither do you. You should consult a registered financial advisor before investing in any coin, instead of jumping into it simply because you watched this video. Let's kick off this video by explaining what Chainlink is. Chainlink operates with blockchains and smart contracts or applications on the blockchain. But one important feature of smart contracts is that they cannot read data from the outside world. They can read timestamps. They can read a transaction value of their own, but that's about it. To read the external data, they need oracles. A highly reliable, decentralized oracle network called Chainlink has a solution to this problem. We remove any single point of failure by allowing multiple chain links to test the same data before it gets used in the blockchain. There is certainly a need for something like this in cryptocurrencies, but how much value one connection token might possibly be worth in the future, since the link is a token of governance? The value here, therefore, depends entirely on how much value interacts with the network, how much future usefulness taps into the network. Chainlink's number one use case for DeFi, particularly as this defining narrative continues to develop as reliable off-chain price data feeds are available. But why? Why is precise data on external prices so important for decentralized finance? Now again, in our case, what we do is basically provide a category of these on-chain contracts that essentially serve as services that allow individuals to access them. Off-chain systems and off-chain systems are relevant in our case because you need price data in DeFi, for example. That's a great deal of DeFi. Price data power it, since it determines what is going on with the underlying assets that are basically secured by DeFi. And you need a detailed image of truth then. To know what is happening with assets, you need a definitive truth about price details. In a service-oriented architecture where people design reusable services and use those reusable services in different configurations, we have these closed, monolithic, special kinds of applications that cannot communicate with other systems at all or easily. That led to a massive speed acceleration in the web world, and qualified individuals can create stuff. Basically, you began to see things like various iPhone applications, all sorts of different use cases being created because individuals were able to compose reusable services securely. When they really like them and put them back out to individuals, they enhance the programs. This simple iteration was created where you have something like Uber merging a GPS API that incorporates a message consumer SMS API and a payment API for paying users. The rapid iteration and the ability to integrate reusable services led to several iterations and acceleration in the web environment in a service-oriented architecture. In DeFi, it's a kind of similar evolution, where you had more monolithic smart contracts in their emphasis that were more singular. They were more closed, but people were able to take the prices of their DeFi protocols, like the protocol of synthetics, the protocol of ARV, the protocol of URL, and they were able to incorporate those pieces into more useful items than any of them would have individually created. You now have an ecosystem of basically composable on-chain services in the form of contracts that can be composed in a very safe way, because any contract is relatively limited in scope and code and control. They all do something useful though, and this is where our space is really beginning to imitate the velocity of evolution you'd see in the world of the web. Chainlink price prediction. Today, in 2021, we see the same kind of defiance evolution. But what does that really mean for Link tokens in 2021 and beyond as a price target? Why, Chainlink provides not only price feed data, but the utility goes far beyond that gaming requires accurate external data insurance, farmer insurance. For example, needs accurate weather data, reliable randomness sports betting needs. The presence of many contracts is another fascinating complex reality that we are now driving forward. If we begin by supplying business data from hundreds of different data suppliers, whether they are running their own Chainlink node or selling data directly to the Chainlink network, you essentially had data aggregations that were sold to several DeFi contracts, enabling them to launch more markets rapidly and safely, and we know every week. We are now able to make new, useful DeFi smart contracts possible for the launch of new markets. But we've generally seen an expansion into other contract categories this year. And what we've found is that when we put new data categories, new categories of off-chain resources are actually new services that can be consumed on-chain via a contract in the form of an Oracle contract in the form of a Chainlink type of off-chain resource representation. We see additional usage cases coming into being and getting better, so gaming is one of these types. You have randomness, sports scores, and various other items in that category that individuals essentially choose to gamble on and play around. The generation of units that popped back into DeFi's collateral, interestingly enough, and what we've essentially seen is a trend in which DeFi protocols provide more services. And provide more services or more individual contracts that can serve as services for other contracts. You see a kind of proliferation of use cases, and you see a rapid development of existing offers to the point that consumers are more desirable and useful. In the insurance sector, we have also seen a lot of change, as we have live crop insurance using weather data fed into a device like our construction by Chainlinks, which can assess the weather and automatically pay out contractual results to farmers in both developed economies and emerging markets where they would not usually have insurance. And a lot of that is possible because we can basically provide an on-chain service in the form of a chain connection that provides information, or in the form of a Chainlink network that aggregates data to a sufficiently high degree of security to induce a certain amount of value that has recently arrived in another category. Using the Chainlink network is evidence of the reserve. So, evidence of reserve approval reserves essentially tells you that there is an underlying asset, and illustrates that it enables the use of that asset to DeFi protocols, and what it does, whether it is Bitcoin or real estate or gold or bank account or whatever the asset is, through the use of DeFi protocols. Chainlink risks/negatives. This may be big because the future is not known to anyone. After all, the risks are some of the possible negatives that we will always give you both the positive and the negative to make the best decision for you when investing in the Chainlink. So, number one, just to know that there is an incredible amount of risk that you take on when you choose to invest in altcoins. If the SEC continues to go after some of these altcoins claiming that they're illegal securities, that would definitely slow them down. Although it's out there in the open, the other big sort of negative is that the business owns a huge supply of tokens, over 60%, which is kind of a quiet inflation as they want to sell on the market at their whim, just practical stuff you should know. And with that, it's time to end the video. We hope this session was informative. Do let us know in the comments section below. Subscribe for more content just like this one, and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to smash that like button and also the bell icon to notify us about our new videos. Until then, fellas.